If you don't use the right beat for your type of song, it's going to be a mismatch. Yeah, it's not going to sound good. Okay, what you need to do is, yo wagwan, hope you're having a great day. Now in this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to pick the right beat to rap on, or how to pick the right beat for your specific song. Let's say you've written some lyrics already and you're trying to find the right beat. I'm going to be giving you the parameters that you should be thinking about in order to get to that decision. Okay, so if you don't know who I am, I'm Jay Cartere from jaycartere.com, teaching you how to be better at music, online business, and online marketing. This is the #1 spot for musicians and creators that don't want to be starving artists. So if that sounds like you, click on that subscribe button, check out the rest of the content on the channel, because you will love it here, guaranteed. Okay, now question of the day is, where do you get your beats from? Let me know in the comment section down below. Now, of course, I've got notes over here, so I'm going to be looking over there. All right, so if you see me looking over there, that's why. Full transparency. Yeah, I wanted to make sure I covered all these sections and gave you exactly the information that you needed so you can make the best decision available to you. Now, if you do want 5 of my beats for absolutely free, before we get into it, link down below, go to jaycartere.com/free beats. With that said, let's get straight into the video. Okay, so there are 3 main things you need to be thinking about, 3 main groups you need to be thinking about when it comes to how to choose your beats. And then there are 3 main ways to get beats. So we're going to be going through these 6 things all together in this video. Now, the first thing you need to be thinking about is the BPM of the beat. What is the tempo of this beat? And why does this matter? Because different songs, different types of songs require different tempos. If you have a laid back boom bap type beat, that will usually be from 80 BPM to around 100, maybe 105 if you're pushing it. Okay, when you get into like 100 to 120, you're getting more into club bangers, pop songs, and Gunna type beats, that sort of stuff. So that's what you're going to be getting over there. But if you want an R&B track, you might be hitting, you might even hit 80, you might even hit 80 BPM. If you're really wild, you might go down to 70, you might even hit 65. I think I've seen 60, but I personally, I don't make anything under 115. Like I haven't made anything under 115 in ages. But these are just the type of ranges that you can expect and the type of things you should be thinking about. If you want a really upbeat trap song, that's going to be 140 to 170. I've seen some beats at 180, but I haven't experimented with that, so I don't know what's going on around there. But if you want some, you know, party vibes, then you might go from 140, you might even go from 130 to around 170, or you might go for that 110, as I said, for the club banger thing, which I've seen in a couple tutorials, but I haven't actually used myself, so I can't really speak on that. Okay, so that's that BPM. Different BPMs will suit different types of songs. Okay, you need to understand that. So if your song is about something very somber and laid back, you might want a lower BPM song. Something that you can do is just tap out the BPM of your lyrics in something like, well, I think every DAW has this. They have like a tap counter that you can use to set up the BPM and set up the tempo. FL Studio has this. I believe Studio One has this. I don't know, I don't really use it, but if you've got something written already, you can just tap it out and rap to it, rap to like your tapping or whatever, and see where the tempo ends up, and then you can search for beats around that BPM specifically. That'll probably help you out a lot, instead of, you know, writing something and then trying to find a beat, which is a difficult process, to be honest. Like, if you have the choice, find the beat first and then write, because it's just going to be a whole lot easier. So second thing you need to be thinking about when it comes to choosing your beats is the key. Now, the reason why you need to think about the key is much more relevant to you if you sing, if you rap sing, if you use auto-tune of any type, if you've got any melodic elements to your song. It's going to be very, very important to you. The reason why is you want to pick a key that is in your vocal range, okay? For example, my vocal range is about F minor to G sharp minor. I think I can go to A minor, but generally I'm doing F minor to G sharp minor. Anything out of that vocal range, I'm not really touching it, and the inspiration doesn't come to me, okay? It just doesn't hit me the same way. So pick the right key for your vocal range. If you need to figure that out, you should check out my video on how to find your rap voice. That will help put you in the right direction of how to figure out your vocal range and what you're capable of. But start simple and then you can branch out over time as you just become a better singer. But if you're just rapping, then the key of the song will just basically determine the vibe. Like different keys have different vibes. For example, what can I even speak on? I don't know, because I had a whole PDF that I had a whole thing that I downloaded that told you the different vibes, but I don't know if that's really accurate. You just kind of feel it in it. You kind of just move to a different key and be like, okay, that gave me that vibe or whatever, or it's giving me this vibe. Rarely that's something that you rarely get to do a lot in the production process if you do produce your own beats as well, but you will tell that different keys have different vibes if you just listen to different beats in different keys basically. So number third thing that you want to think about is price. Of course, how much money do you have? How much money do you want to spend? How many beats do you want? What's your plan? Like what's your goal? Are you trying to make money off this? Like what's going on? Like what's your budget basically? Now you need to decide on your price range and you need to be honest with yourself. Yeah, there's no point lying. There's no point saying, you know, I don't want to spend any money. That's not a good place to be in, because then you have very limited options. Honestly, back in my day, I sound like an old crone, but back when I was looking for beats online, I didn't have any money to spend on beats, yeah? So I get it. And my catalog of beats that I could choose were very limited. They were limited to people who are willing to give beats away for free. And the beats that people are giving away for free generally aren't the best beats in the world, because people want to charge for those beats, okay? So it was hard to get good beats, and at one point it was just so hard that I just stopped looking, because I just couldn't find anything that inspired me. And at that point I decided that I needed to learn how to produce. So, you know, years later, here we are, and I produce my own beats. I don't rely on is my dread over there? That should be in the middle. Why is it going over there? I don't rely on anyone else to make my beats and whatnot. If someone does send me a beat, then great stuff. I might check it out. Maybe I'll use it, but generally I make all my beats. I've got hundreds of beats that I can use at this point. I don't really need to go to other people, and that's something that we're going to talk about in a bit. But if you want to make this a career, you want to be serious with this, you need to buy beats, or at least lease beats, and buy the license to use that beat so that you can actually monetize your songs. That's very important. But that doesn't mean that you need to go broke doing it, yeah? There are bundles out there. You can get a bunch of beats. Like I'm going to be putting out bundles where you can get like 5, 10, 15, even 100 beats for a very reasonable price, instead of just buying one beat for $30 or whatever, how much you're spending these days. I don't even know what's going on, but like buying one beat at a time is not very economically smart. Yeah, it's much better to buy as many beats as you possibly can for the lowest price possible. And if you, for example, go into someone's BeatStars page and you see that they've got like 7 beats that you really like, but they don't have any deals on their BeatStars page, maybe contact that person and be like, hey, you know, I know you don't have any deals on your BeatStars page, but I want 7 of these beats. Can you swing me a deal? And most people, like if they're a good business person, they'll be like, okay, sure, like, because you're gonna buy a bunch of beats, there's no reason for me not to swing you a deal, because everyone's just gonna be happier in it. You're gonna get what you want, I'm gonna get a bunch of sales, and you're gonna be a long-term customer because you wanted so many beats in the first place. So don't be scared to do that, to hit people up. We're gonna talk a little bit more about that in a bit. But also, what you should be doing is downloading the free versions of the beats that are available, then writing your song to it, and then buying the beat. Don't buy like 70 beats. Well, don't buy a bunch of beats unless they're like a ridiculous deal, but don't buy a bunch of beats that you're not going to use in it, like, because you'll just be spending money for no reason. It's much smarter to test out the beats. A lot of people offer a free download that's like tagged all through it, but you can get that beat, you can write your song, and now you know you're actually going to use that beat because you've already written a song to it. So keep that in mind. Also, download my free beats, link down below, jcarterray.com/free beats. Free beats, like who doesn't want free beats, right? And these are actually good beats. Like these are beats that I went through and I was like, okay, I've got to give some good beats out in it. Like there's 5 of my best beats at that time when I made it, which was last year. Now I've got better beats, but those are 5 of my best beats, and at some point I'll update that and make that 5 of my best beats again. Okay, so 3 different ways to get beats. We talked about the 3 things you should be focusing on when it comes to making your decision of what beat you want to use, but there are 3 main ways that you can get beats. So number 1 is to lease a pre-made beat online. This is like if you go to BeatStars or SoundClick. I don't think people use SoundClick anymore, but there are other things out there like Airbit. With this, it's very straightforward. You can check out the beat, you you can purchase a license for it, and Bob's your uncle, you're done. But the disadvantages of this is you don't have a lot of customization options, and this is the least amount of control that you're gonna have, okay? But it's very, very straightforward and very, very easy to do. So there's that. Now, the second way is to actually find a producer that you really, really like. This has its own problems, okay? Now, the positives are you can get a custom beat that fits your personal style. You obviously linking up with a producer that you actually like, so you can form some sort of relationship with them, and collaborate over time. But disadvantages is you're going to be waiting on someone. Like, generally you're going to wait on someone, and waiting on people is terrible, especially waiting on producers when you're trying to get a project done and the beat just ain't there. Like, what are you gonna do? Nothing really. That's not a great time. And a lot of people are unreliable. Anytime you put your future in the hands of someone else that you need to rely on, that's a terrible spot to be in, okay? So that's something to think about as well. Yeah. Now, the third thing that you can do, the third way to get beats, is probably the hardest but the most rewarding over a long term, and that is to make your own beats. Yeah, this ain't easy, trust me. This ain't easy at all, especially when you're just starting out. But after some time, you'll learn how it's done, and you'll be able to craft exactly what you want. Maybe not exactly there until you hit that skill level, but you'll be able to get there closer and closer over time, and it's so fulfilling. Like, I've fallen in love with production again over the past week, but I do fall in and out of love with it because honestly, I'm an artist at heart, but I do enjoy the process of production a whole lot more now. And when I listen to songs, I'm listening for the production sometimes, and sometimes I'm listening for the songwriting. But when I listen for the production, I can hear things now that I couldn't hear before. Like, before I'd hear something and I'd be like, that sounds impossible, how did they do that? Now I hear things and I'm like, okay, they did that there, they did that there, that's probably that chord, and that's a note up there, that's a note down there. Now my ear's becoming more trained. The more time you spend with this, the better you'll get. But it is a long process. The positives are you can create custom beats that fit your style. You got creative control. You have more revenue opportunities because you created the entire track. You created your own beat, and you can sell beats to other people. And now you can create a bunch of revenue opportunities just from being a music producer, which is, you know, a whole other thing that we can get into, which is, you know, another video, which I did make a video on how to make digital products and stuff, which you should check out if you want to make money online and you want to make money from your career as an artist without forcing yourself to sell your art, which then makes you have to commercialize your art, which then sucks the soul out of it and then stops it being fun. So definitely check that video out. That was a mouthful. But yeah, making your own beats is long to learn, but it is very, very, very rewarding. And I do have a free course that teaches you my 9-step easy 9-step method, 9-step formula to create trap beats from scratch. Link down below. Go to jaycartere.com/free trap course, and that's everything you need to know to choose your beat to rap on. If you got any questions or any other tutorials you want me to make, please leave a comment down below, and in the next video you'll learn more about music, online business, and online marketing. See you there. Peace out.